Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Simply Investing. This is just your morning chat here. UBS announced earnings down. Fourth quarter earnings down because of low earnings on the wealth management side. And some people may think like, well, why should that have such an impact on their earnings? Well, that is a large part of most large banks' earnings, is managing their customers' wealth. And for the most part, no one's been really paying attention to middle class. And it starts with not just giving like little 1 or 2 pointers with, okay, this is what you need to do to save. It starts with having someone counsel your customers to begin to save and develop and build to get to the level of wealth. The problem with the financial industry is they don't care. They don't want to help you get there to have a large sum of money to invest with them. They want to just take the money now and just make minimal gains for you and lots of revenue. Also, a big part of that is millennials understand this process very, very, very well. They understand it very well. And they know that they're getting the kind of the ass end of the deal by going with these large banks for managing their investments. So they start picking cheaper alternatives like Acorns, Robinhood app, Betterment. There's another one called Wealth Growth. There's a lot of those apps out there, and a lot of them doing well. And they do it for a lot less fees because there's a lot less inner workings. There's no senior partners. There's not a lot of things going on. And I really think this is the beginning of the end of these large banks. I think eventually, I don't think regulations will come down that will break them up. I think simply the fact that the way the consumers are going will break up the banks. I think that's what's going to break up the banks there. So it's kind of hard to say how it's going to affect in the next 10 years, but I do think that the wealth management side for large banks like UBS, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo are going to slowly diminish over time. Especially with what Warren Buffett said. Like if we're going to negative interest rates, it might just be easier just to pull the money out and keep the cash in your pocket and under your mattress rather than leave it in the bank, as the bank's going to start charging you to park your money. So with that said, it might just be easier just to not have it in the bank. Things like that, but who knows? I don't think it's going to affect that well. I think what's going to happen is interest rates are going to have to start climbing. They're just naturally going to have to start climbing. Another point of interest for all you Apple naysayers, Tim Cook came on Mad Money last night, and just basically said the same thing. It's undervalued, and it really is undervalued because it's just like I keep saying, like, how's a $200 billion company, $200 billion in revenue, makes crap tons of profit, has over $200 billion in cash, deemed by investors as worthless? Like, I understand we all understand the part of investing is to speculate on future earnings, and they must be banking a lot on these on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google and social networking and stuff. And I just don't think you're going to make that much money there. Money's in the hardware. People always say, well, the software, yeah, but 30 years ago the money was in the software, and you had tons of hardware competitors. Now really don't have a lot of hardware competitors, and you really don't have a lot of software competitors. So the best place to go for now in a more materialistic driven generation is to go with the one that's most aesthetically pleasing, is made a brand image. So it's like wealthy people, wealthy kids, when they have a cell phone, they tend to have an Apple phone. Not saying anything bad about it, I'm just saying that's just how it happens to go. And I think we kind of broken up the cell phone market, and it's kind of gradually moving towards more of a fashion part where, you know, you're either going to classify yourself as high end or you're going to classify yourself as low end. Because Apple's cheapest phone is $399. They don't sell anything cheaper than that. And I get it, you know, people like China is causing ripples in Apple, but you know what? I think China's going to cause ripples in everybody, because like I keep telling people, when you invest in China, when you do business in China, China has this thing called nationalization, and since it's not a democracy, it's a communist country, they can nationalize all your business assets, and there ain't crap that you can do about it. So if you just spent a few $billion trying to make some money in China, and they see that you're doing well, they'll just nationalize your stuff, and then before you know it, you just help them set up their network, and they just took your stuff. They took your money, and they took your intellectual property, and they took your product. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. Yes, there's a lot of people in there. Let them. I would not enter into that market. I would stay in traditional Western markets that have great security and still you can provide a niche market. You know, with that said, we're going to have to see how the second quarter plays out. They keep saying consumer confidence is a little higher, but I still think Americans, especially the millennial generation, doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do yet, and they're more focused on using their money for experiences rather than using money for purchasing products that like cars, houses. You know, the biggest trend now with millennials is doing the backpacking across the world, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that affects the economy, because you know that's now you're spending money more internationally than ever before. So we'll have to see how that works out and how that pans out. No, right now I'm still kind of bullish on the market. I think we still got another few years of a great rise. I don't think we're going to go into a recession. I just think the economic growth is going to slow down. But if we really want to keep the momentum going in the U.S., we need to bring back some serious manufacturing to the U.S. Serious manufacturing. Like, we need to really bring back auto manufacturing, parts. We need to go back to how it was 50, 60 years ago, where we manufactured 90% of what our consumers consumed. And that was great. And we had a booming economy because people were getting paid to make this stuff, and the money was cycling within our country rather than cycling out. Because when you outsource everything, the money goes back out and then comes back and it's getting double taxed. Why don't we just make it all here and get taxed once for it? But you know, I guess it was cheaper when you exploit people for 37 cents a day, but that's neither here nor there now. I also really am interested to see how Tesla will do in the next few years. I think they're going to start being great, but they really need to offer a car that's like $18,000 they need to offer that car, because that's what most Americans can afford. Like a $40,000 car is still, you're still talking upper middle class, because you know, with good credit and everything, a lease payment may be like $350, or a car loan may be like $450 to $490. What they need to do is get a car so that the average American who makes $40,000 a year can be able to purchase it and pay $200 a month for it. I think that'd be a great buy. But they also released the patent, so I believe, I do believe that someone will come up and use their patent and make a quality car that can be under $20,000. Doesn't have to be like $12,000. It just has to be under $20,000. When you're under $20,000, you'll have a great product still, and you'll deliver what the customers want. Oh, my freaking hill here. You'll deliver what the customers want, and you'll make a lot of money. So, with that said, you know, guys, stay focused, stay positive, build your trading platform. Always respect the process. You know, build your strategies, keep your emotions out of it, focus in on the value of what the business has to offer that you're investing in. And remember, and always remember, the number one thing is to keep your emotions out of it. Because when you get emotional and you get fearful, that's when you start losing your money, and that's when someone else is making money off of you. That said, have fun, guys. Hope make a lot of money. Like, subscribe, like the Facebook page, comment, ask me questions, leave feedback. I'll try to get back to everybody as quickly as possible. With that saying, have a great day in trading, and I'll see you next time.